but I don't want to waste my time, but I also don't want to confront him and then him be like, what are you talking about?
Can I be a super puncher?
Yes.
Electrician.
Because I have a cousin that's always wanted to be a cowboy, but like you, he's not, so...
She didn't know that we were dating, so she also didn't know that we broke up,
But, God forbid there'd be a medical emergency or I get hurt or something, they need to call the ambulance and like,
who cares?
oh, well, who got hurt? I don't know.
What's his name?
Fingers.
What's his nuts?
Rodeo time. Gotta get her on down the road.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rodeo Time, the podcast. That's right, we're back and forth. Sometimes I call it the Old Sun Podcast. We've talked about calling it the Old Sun Syndicate, but basically it's Rodeo Time all the time. And so it's safe to at least call it that occasionally. What we've got today is a very interesting podcast. It's where you get to hear Dale Brisby solving the problems, the life issues of his constituents. Yes, I am talking about myself in the third person, the fourth actually. And that's because I tell it like it is. I'm so honest you can shoot dice with me over the phone. That's why whenever you hear this silky smooth voice coming over the loudspeaker, and I want you to turn it up, okay? Like Chicho says, an energy drink for your ears is what Dale Brisby is. That's kind of a loose quotation. I'm paraphrasing, which is mainly what I'll do here, except for these videos that you guys submitted. I'm going to show those, and you're going to hear them word for word. And I'm going to go through as many as I can. I've got some DMs from people, so you're going to have to bear with me. Some of them I've not even watched. You're going to hear for the first time on the show. So let's get started. Who do we have first? Dale? Who do we have first? Now, I have had some really interesting ones. You guys have DM'd them to me. You've texted them to me. You've Snapchatted them to me. Insta made me break this into two videos. We're going to go with Kendra Wallace. Kendra, well, hello.
I just kind of need, I guess, relationship advice, but I'm not in a relationship. I've just been seeing this guy for like 2 months now. We've been talking. I know him from high school, and we kind of just like rekindled recently over like social media. But yeah, we've been talking for 2 months, and at first he was super talkative, and we were chatting all the time, and we were hanging out a lot, blah, blah, blah. And recently he's been more distant, and I'm always the one that has to start the conversation. He doesn't talk to me unless I say something first, kind of thing. And so I kind of just feel like things are fizzling out, but I also don't know if they are, and I might just be overthinking. So you tell me. Yeah, so I don't even know. I just feel like things are fizzling out, but I don't want to waste my time, but I also don't want to confront him and then him be like, what are you talking about? So, yeah. Thanks, Dale.
No problem, Kendra. Really good question. And this happens a lot. Everybody wants to play it cool and chill and be chill. But you said it yourself. Sorry, I hit the board. You said it yourself at the beginning of this video. We're not in a relationship. You said, I need advice about relationships, but I'm not in a relationship. So that's probably where he's at too. And if you give a guy that much freedom, he's going to take it. Now, I'm not saying that a guy like myself, I'm going to run around on a girl, but I'm going to go hit the road. I'm going to be on to the next one. We don't like to be tied down. We're wild bull Mustangs. So what you got to do is make him commit. Stop being the one that initiates the conversation. Just on to the next one. You're a free girl. If you're not in a relationship, you're not in a relationship. Then you stop treating it like one, all right? You got to either poop or get off the pot. I should put that on a shirt. I just made that up. But essentially, right now, you're just too available. And he's not committed. And why would he commit? If you do say, now I will say, you said at the end, I don't know if I want to say something because he's going to be like, what are you talking about? He's definitely going to say that. What are you talking about? But what I would tell you to do is just hit the brakes. If he's not committing, then you shouldn't either. Stop talking to him. Then I bet 3, 4, 5 days goes by. He's like, oh man, I had this girl wrapped around my finger and now she's not there anymore. My finger, look, nothing's wrapped around it. then he's going to reach out. Guys, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Kendra needs to, it's playing hard to get. It's not a game. Like, that's just human nature. You know what I'm saying? He may not even be like trying to be malicious about it. It's just human nature. If you're too available. So that's what I say. Give it a week, and please keep me updated on this, Kendra, because I want to know. I bet this son of a gun either comes screeching back, or if he doesn't, then who cares? You're on to the next one. All right? Life is short, and it's actually kind of long, so be patient, and don't worry about dudes that aren't willing to commit to you. And it's not a bad thing either. He might just be got a lot of stuff going. Maybe he's a bull rider, riding bulls, punching fools. He's not ready to commit to a relationship. That's not necessarily bad either. I ain't throwing rocks at him. But you can't give a guy that much freedom and then wonder why he's taking advantage of that much freedom. All right, next question. Kendra, feel good about that one. And I need to save these to my phone. Guys, this is like real time that you're experiencing this this stuff here. What's that one chick's name? She had a super interesting question that I feel like needs to be addressed. And I also want to tell her she ain't no cowgirl. Dang, I've had a lot of questions. I'm just going to go to it in my phone because I know I saved it. Okay.
Hi, Dale. My name's Cheyenne, and my question to you is, I was actually diagnosed by an Instagram doctor with a disease called plastic brain, and I was just curious what you think I can do to get a real brain.
Okay, Cheyenne, what you're going to need to do, you're in Barbie doll mode. And I know the doctor that prescribed this, I'm not going to name any names, but Dale Brisby, because you were asking me some really off-the-wall questions like, Dale, do you even ride? Do you even go 90? And, I mean, like, do you even have a BRANE upstairs? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Might be plastic. So what you need to do is go back to the drawing board. And that's back to my original videos. Watch every video I have on YouTube. Then you're going to be on your way to getting yourself a real brain. She submitted a second video. Let's see
One
what
more
else she's got.
question. I was just curious where on eBay I can get a belt buckle, because I have a cousin that's always wanted to be a cowboy, but like you, he's not. So I was just curious where you get them and if I could get a good sell on them.
Wow. What'd you say your name was? Kelsey? Chelsea? Chastity? I don't remember now. But that is a very interesting way to ask me that question. Your boy DB is, I'm so cowboy, I invented another level of cowboy. When you think of cowboys, you're going to think of your everyday day working hand. Then you're going to think, man, occasionally you get a top hand. Then you got a ranch manager, campers. You've got the guy that owns the place. Above all else are your Dale Brisbys, your super punchers. That's what Dale Brisby is. That's what I am, okay? So this lady's talking nonsense. I do have belt buckles available on my website. And you know what those are for? Those are for your fans of the sport that, they may never get on a bull. Or maybe they got on one time. And one guy, he kind of got upset once. And he was like, man, all this is encouraging posers. I was like, or fans, buddy. Like, you are a poser because you think that we can have rodeos without anybody in the seats. Why would a committee put on a rodeo if they didn't think 300 or 3,000 or 9,000 people were going to show up where they buy tickets and it like pumps money into the rodeo? You got sponsors that are excited about that, so they give money, which goes in the contestants' pockets. Some of these guys want to buy a cowboy hat and they want to have a belt buckle hold on their belt. There's nothing wrong with that, all right? Now, somebody like that is like an actual poser, that brags about going 90 all the time and you never see him going 90, I'm not down with that, okay? But that's not Dale Brisby. Not that, did you say, this girl is acting like, we're going to go on to the next one. Next question. We've got one coming in from Josh. Josh Rush.
Question. Okay, bud, I got a question for you. Do you date your ex, or if you're done, you don't never go back to him?
Very interesting question. You know, the ex of mine that comes to mind is Katie Kaufman. Blair, by the way. The Blair is Elliot. Great guy. And not just because he took this can of crazy off the market, but just because he and I are great friends. He put her on the map. I know none of you have ever heard of Katie Kaufman, but just to let you know, Josh, where I'm at on dating exes. Like, none of you probably have an ex as crazy, psychotic as my ex, Katie Kaufman. She put the hot in psychotic, okay? Like, at first you're like, oh, okay, she's not ugly. And then you're like, whoa. And it just, I'm not even going to go into detail, but to answer your question, Josh, no. Okay? No. All right. Who else do we have? Now, this question comes from Nicole Mueller. I don't think I've even, have I listened to this? I think I've listened to this.
Hey, y'all. So my question for you pertains to business. I'd love any tips or advice on how to get my foot in the door as a 23-year-old female who wants to work for a stock contractor. Ever since I was 10 years old, I've wanted to raise bulls, and more recently, it's gotten more raise broncs, still bulls. Super intrigued by the fighting bull industry. Definitely would love to do that. I went to college in Wyoming for farm and ranch management. Moved back to Connecticut where I am now. My family has a small dairy farm. We have horses. I barrel raced all growing up. I was in the industry all growing up. But I really, like, my heart is into stock contracting. I was going to try to intern for you, and I reached out to Nick, and he was like, no, you should just try to get into the stock contractor. So that's my question. I need any tips, tricks, advice, connection.
Okay, wait a second. Nick, WTH. This girl
I'm willing to pretty much do whatever. I'm down to go for like a 2-week internship.
She sent me 2 videos.
Just kind of get my foot in the door any way possible. I live in Connecticut, and we really don't have that many options. Honestly, within like a day's drive around here. There's one place up in New York, but I've reached out to them so many times, and they just literally won't give me the time of day.
I'm going to finish watching this girl's video later because not only is she super cute, but, it doesn't even have anything to do with that, really. That's just a very small percentage of things that I consider when I hire, young ladies. I've probably got people in and around the business right now. 70% of them are women. And so I am not opposed to hiring young ladies. And they're more organized. They've got much better hygiene. They work just as hard as guys. So I am super in favor of hiring young ladies. Now, as far as you not applying for my internship, I'm sad that Nick would give you that information, especially when he friggin' made it. He came here. He learned more in his 1.5, 2 months stint here as an intern than he would have. Anyways, the point is, what you need to do is exactly what you're doing. Reach out to somebody, offer to work for them for free. Because if you know nothing, you're not going to be able to offer them as much. At least they're not going to think that. So if you come in for free and you're like, hey, I'm going to give you 2 weeks worth of just 100% hard work. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this person is so great. I can't let them leave. So they offer you a job. It's a risk you got to take, but even if you do just work there for free for 2 weeks or longer, 30 days, 90 days, depending on how bad you want it, maybe you learned something along the way. Because usually a good businessman, entrepreneur, he's not going to let somebody leave feeling like they brought him or her more value than they brought that person. So like if you came here, for instance, the interns, like they got to work for free. Well, if they bust their rump and they're like working hard and they're doing all the things, all of a sudden I'm not going to let them leave here feeling like they didn't get anything out of it. Like for instance, Gabriel, he's my newest intern from California. We have been riding horses every day. He's actually sore from riding horses. Like he had to take a break because he had like a blister on his cheeks. So I'm giving him that time. I'm teaching him. I'm putting him on my horse that I pay to feed. But my time is the most valuable. But that's because he's put in the work. He worked here. He worked hard. And I got to show him the deal. We got another young lady. Her name is Ranchy Rapunzel. You sent in a video last time. It was about being tall. That was hilarious. Let's see if this video. Faith Ciasaleski. Ranchy Rapunzel is her Instagram name.
Okay, so my life problem's like low-key serious, but anything too crazy. But I am 20 years old, and I will be graduating with a paramedic license here in June if everything goes according to plan. But I am very young in the career path that I've chosen, and that can kind of take a toll on my confidence. I am the same age as all of my coworkers and classmates' children. So that definitely kind of takes a toll because I don't have as much experience, and not everybody is very supportive of the people that I work with. They're not always like, oh, you're going to do great. They're just like, oh, you shouldn't be here. And that kind of takes a toll on you. So, and that leads into other aspects of my life as well. I just got accepted to a university, and I am not very confident that I would make the rodeo team, and that does kind of take it takes a toll on you. So how do you portray confidence in something you're very new to, and make sure that it's not conveyed as pride in any way possible? So that's the million-dollar question I have.
Faith, these are great questions. Ranchy Rapunzel, you do have long hair, by the way. It seems as though I was born number one. I invented riding bulls with one hand. All right. I rode and I was waving to people, chunking the deuce, and I didn't even know what the buzzer was. It went off. I thought a phone was ringing. I just rode. So if you're trying to be a bull rider, if you guys are aspiring to be bull riders, what you need to tell yourself is, all right, the best I can be is second, because DB's still out there. And then you're on your way. You're not going to set yourself up for disappointment. But back to the question. It sounds like you are considering a little too much what other people think of you. Look at me. Look at this. Look at this. Now, I know I'm really good looking, but it should be apparent that I don't care what people think of me. So that's where you got to go, because as far as the rodeo team, like the NIRA, like the way rodeo teams work is anybody can college rodeo. So like, let's say you're gonna college rodeo and you want to run barrels, you want to breakaway rope, whatever you want to do, that's fine. The rodeo team, they'll put 6 people on the team. So you could make the college finals on a team, or but they may have like 25 people entered at that rodeo. For instance, Clarendon College, they've got like 18 bronc riders. Well, they're not all on the 6 team. They're not all on the team per se, but they're on the team and they can enter and you could go to the college finals as an individual. So Clarendon College may have 10 bronc riders, 6 bareback riders, a bull rider, 14 calf ropers, 20 barrel racers, some breakaway ropers. They may have 100 people entered under Clarendon College name, but only 6 of them get to compete as a team. Now, what the coach does is he'll pick the top, guy or girl. It'll be a guy's team and a girl's team. Top 6 girls, top 6 guys. So what I'm getting at is you can still enter. Like, I spent some time at a JUCO, and they didn't even have a rodeo team. Well, I could still enter an NRA rodeo under my college name. There wasn't a rodeo team. Anyways, whatever. We're getting into the weeds. The point is, Faith, yes, you can college rodeo. No, you don't need to worry about what people think. Okay? Confidence comes from winning. Winning helps you gain confidence. That's why I have a lot of it. Or the second thing is preparation. That's where you get, if you need to fabricate yourself some confidence, and fabricate sounds like a bad word because it sounds like it's not merited, but if you are super prepared for whatever you're doing, college rodeo or whatever, then you're going to be more confident. If you not just pull an all-nighter, but you were to study for a test for a week ahead of time, you're going to probably walk into that confident. Or, you know, if you've got 10 tests in a semester and you do really good on 9 of them, and then you prepare for the 10th one, you're going to walk into that confident. So winning or preparation gives you confidence. I don't really know a bunch about school because I'm Dale Brisby. I already knew everything. I went to 3rd grade, all right? And I learned what 22 plus 23, 22 plus 23, 45, 45. You know what that equals? 92 points. I was on to the next one. That's all I needed to know. Speaking of, on to the next one, we're going to go to the next question. Do I have any more just saved in my phone? This guy's he seems like he had a good question. His name is Andrew D. Kunner, Kunert 20 is his Instagram.
Mr. Brisby, aka the GOAT. So recently in the last year,
first off, that is an excellent way to start your video. Okay? Let's hear more. Shout out to Theo Vaughn.
Me and my fiance bought a little over an acre with a house on it. Big backyard. It's a backyard, not a pasture.
Backyard.
She is telling me that we need to get a beef steer to keep in our backyard, raise it up till it's nice and healthy, and then put it in the freezer. Please give me some advice on how to tell her how crazy and wrong she is that we cannot keep a beef steer in our backyard. It's not a pasture. Any advice? Or maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe you ain't no cowboy unless you keep a beef steer in your backyard. Any advice? More than helpful.
First off, my man, what did we say your name was? I'm sorry, I already forgot. Andrew, listen. You need to decide what your wife is willing to do or not do. If she wants to keep, beef steer, bovine, cattle, put some cattle back there. If you want to start a herd, that's fine. But is she going to be willing to take care of it? All right. The second thing is pins situation. Like if it's not really gentle, what you going to do if that some buck gets out? What you going to do if you realize your chain link fence ain't enough to hold it in? They like to rub against those. Do you have barbed wire? So facilities, that's another thing to consider. Third thing to consider, do you like beef? Okay, I love it. I'm in Texas. We all do. You're supposed to. The fourth thing to consider is what you're going to do. You're going to feed it? You're going to have to because you don't have enough grass to do grass-fed. Plus, I like the way that corn-fed beef tastes. But you're not going to get into tax exemption if that's what you're after because you got to have, I think, at least 6 acres. What else? I'm saying do it, all right? I'm a cattleman, all right? And you ain't no more a cattleman than I am, Call, and you know it, too. I'd like to see the herd you and Jake bring to Montana. Anyways, whatever. Get the beef steer and grow your own. That's fine. Also, do the pencil work. Like, what's it gonna cost you? What's it gonna save you? You know, I mean, are you doing it just for nostalgia? Like, yeah, we raised this beef. Whenever Jim and Karen come over for dinner, hey, this says homegrown Andrew raised beef. If you're doing it for that, you know, that's fine. But if you're doing it to save money, you need to pencil it out because you might not be saving much money. Anyhow, thank you, Andrew, for the question. We're going to go to, wait a second. Who was that sent me? I think that Mr. Gabriel Breseño has sent me a video. Yeah, he did. Let's see what Gabriel has to say.
It's me, Gabriel, your new intern. I got a question for you, / problem. And you're obviously the man that knows now all the answers. I got this boss who's kind of just hot-headed.
Don't like the way this is starting.
You know, he thinks he knows it all.
Does he?
I don't know if he does.
Yeah, he does.
I'm fairly new. Some people beg to differ. Some people think that, you know, he ain't a true cowboy. You know, I'm trying to be a cowboy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn how to ranch.
Yeah, I know you are.
And I just don't know how I should approach my boss, you know? Asking him if he's a real deal, if he knows what he's doing. You know, if he's not just talking out of his butt.
Really?
I got, you know, what do I do? Do I approach my boss, or like how do I approach him if I do, you know? Thanks for the advice.
He sent 2 videos. Were they different?
Here's a
Maybe this
real
will be
one I
better.
got for you, Dale. This is Gabriel, your intern. Hope you haven't forgot about me.
Yes, I know.
I need some advice on getting a vehicle. I'm borrowing everybody's cars.
Yeah.
My motorcycle in the wintertime in Texas sucks.
Yeah.
I need your help. Do you know anybody? Can you score me a deal at like the Ford or Ram dealership? I mean, you're Dale Brisby. You gotta have the works for everything. So my question is to you / problem is, can you help me get a truck? And if you can, that'll be awesome.
Okay, so we've got 2 questions. One of them is, are you a real cowboy? The second one is, can you help me get a vehicle? So very interesting, and especially interesting that, you know, these 2 questions came together. Gabriel, I think you know the answer to this. I think you know that I'm a cowboy. Who didn't want to ride that 6th day in a row? It wasn't me. My cheeks were not chapped from riding too much. No, sir. My cheeks are calloused. Like I was born with calloused cheeks, ready to wear a little leather. Wear a little leather off the tree. All right? That's what I was born to do. That's what I've been doing since before the war. Which war? All of them. Okay? You came to Texas from California to learn from the greatest of all time. And don't you forget it. He did walk to work this morning. The warehouse is not on the property on Radiator Ranch, and he had to walk. It was about 28 degrees. So, yeah, if anybody's got a used truck out there that they want to sell Gabriel, you might DM him. That's me helping you right there, Gabriel. Gabriel Breseño. 2-Bar Gabe is his Instagram. Hit him up if you got a truck for sale. We live in Texas, west of Fort Worth. And that's another thing. Gosh darn it. People like come up to me and they're like, hey, where you live? West of Fort Worth. Well, what's your address? Like, they want what you want, the longitude and latitude? Just be okay with that. Like, you don't need to know the longitude and latitude of my dang house. You don't need the coordinates. What you gonna do, send a drone? But I appreciate you asking. I love talking to people, as much as you may not believe it. We've got a question coming in.
Okay, Dale, need your help with a Christmas-related gift question
Dale, where?
that I'm having.
Dale, where?
Speaking for a friend that my friend's having, okay?
Dale, where?
How should a guy or girl, how should a person act
he's a lawyer.
and feel during the holiday season if...
Joyful, gleeful.
You know, I think this applies for like parents and stuff too, where it feel that you have this weird feeling of somebody gives you a gift, right? And let's say it's a nice gift and it's thoughtful and
if
you
it's
love
Delaware.
it. Somebody gives you a gift, but you're the person that paid for it, right? So like if my daughters give me a gift, now obviously, right, like you're going to be super excited and grateful. That's not really the problem, right? Because hopefully people kind of anticipate, you know, budget in some money for your kids 3 to get you a gift. But what if, and this is hypothetical yet, right?
She needs
so
to
I'm
get
not gonna get in trouble.
She needs to get her own gift
by
for her
my
dad.
wife, but
all right, she's 3 years old.
but
Grow up.
how should somebody feel if somebody who you have a joint checking account with gets you like a really expensive gift
Ooh.
and you didn't know about it, right? Because I have no idea if I'm getting a gift like that, but I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, man, that'd be, because you should be super excited.
Yeah.
Right? You should be like, man, this is great. Got this new pair of boots, custom made.
Great question there, Mr. Payton. He's a lawyer. He's my lawyer, actually. How excited should you be to get a gift from a person who you've got a joint checking account with? I guess it depends on the gift, old son. Like I said, Delaware, I mean, I don't mind somebody investing that money for me, you know. But if you're talking about, I feel for you. You know, as far as women, I'm on to the next one. So it's like having one song on your playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to work out to one song. I don't want to drive down the highway to the next rodeo 8 hours away, listen to one song over and over. For that reason, I'm out. Now, we've got a video here from Nick that I have not watched yet, so I don't know what's coming. Most of these I haven't watched at all. Whoa, killer
Hey Dale, I'm
stash.
making a video
Yeah,
just to
I see that.
ask you for your help and some guidance. It's ever since I left your place, I've been working on this new outfit, and I'm not sure if any of them really know my actual name. They
I
just
still
give me
don't.
nicknames because they've seen me on your YouTube and on your Instagram, and they just give me all these nicknames.
Because everybody's watching my
I wrote
stuff.
some of them down. I've been keeping track of them the past couple weeks. Obviously, first go-to is intern. Then it's something or other. What's his nuts? Broke arms. New guy. Sir struts a lot. That, I guess, because my walk, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers, because I ain't no hand.
Yep.
Not gonna lie, that one kind of hurts, but
Yeah.
it's true. So
Kind of true.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
And the yes sir guy.
Yep.
That's what they call me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Again, like, I can't be mad at him. It's funny. I get it. But, God forbid there be a medical emergency or I get hurt or something. They need to call the ambulance.
Yeah,
And they're like,
who cares?
oh, well, who got hurt? I don't know.
I don't know. What's his
His
name?
fingers.
What's his nuts?
So I've tried to explain to him that my name is Nick before, but it's just like in one ear, out the other. So how do
There's
I get
nothing in
my
this cup.
coworkers to listen to me and understand when I'm talking to them when I try to tell them what my actual name is? Thank you. Everything is appreciated.
I love nicknames, especially for people that aren't that memorable. You got to give them a memorable nickname. Gosh, now I'm trying to remember who sent me this video. When I remember that, we'll come back to you. Scrawny Brooks. These
What up, BB?
good videos, good questions.
It's your boy Scrawny, man.
This your boy Scrawny.
Scrawny Brooks.
Sounds like he's
He
under
asked
a
us to
waterfall.
send you a video and explain to you what we think our problem was.
Okay.
And you'd help us. You'd help us with that
Yep,
problem.
I will. I am right now.
Well, me personally, I can't speak for everybody else, but me personally, I think my biggest problem is that mentally, I think that I have all of these problems, when really I don't. Really, there is no problem. If you want to be successful, get out, work hard, grind. If you want this and want all the things you want out of life, you're going to have to work for them. And I think I found a reason, or I look for things within myself, like, hey, this didn't go my way, it's because of this and this. No, bro, it's simply because you didn't have the mindset to grind hard and work for it. Yeah, you might be denied, but keep grinding, keep working for it. So what I'm saying is, there is no problem that's avoiding me or keeping me from being successful except for me. But I think my problem is that...
It sounds like he's answering his own question, which that's not even me throwing rocks. That's a good thing. Sounds like, I was talking to one guy, Corey Anderson, and he he's got a degree in psychology. I don't think he's technically a psychologist, but he's got a degree in psychology. And he said most of what I do when I'm helping friends or whoever is helping them realize what they already think. I thought that was very interesting. So I'm going to lean into that with you, Scrawny, because it sounds like deep down you know what the deal is. You just sometimes need some help validating it. Like, is this right? And it is right, You touched on two things there that I think are important. Number one, accountability. It's nobody's fault but your own. And that's a good thing because then you have control over whatever the solution to your problem is. The second thing is you got to just be patient, okay? You got to wait it out. And life is long. And this is something I was telling Scrawny the other day if you saw my Instagram story. You can only live it one day at a time, but life is long and you are young. Scrawny's like 21. He got in a wreck the other day just and was in the hospital for a while. It was touch and go, but they were making some content, making some videos at a studio, and left at like 3 a.m, got tired, had a wreck. The point is, like, just he was actually going fast there. So not too fast, but just like everything kind of came against him in one evening. But the point is just like, you just got to slow down and be okay with like results taking time. Keith Mundy with American Hats said that you will overestimate what you accomplish in a year and underestimate what you accomplish in 5. Thought that was pretty interesting. So in a year, you're like, man, I thought I would have got more than that done. But in 5, you look back and be like, I cannot believe I came this far in 5 years. Work hard, have a good attitude, trust God and the process, and the Lord will put opportunities in front of you. Life is not 2 or 3 big sexy decisions, and then all of a sudden, like, you've got this big chunk of money and success and all that. It's very small, wise decisions, sometimes boring decisions every single day, and they add up over time. All of a sudden, 8 years later, you've made all these really wise decisions with not only business but like relationships, and then you look up and all of a sudden your friendships, your family, your business relationships, like everything has funneled in this direction of like, wow, things really worked out for me. And all of that can be rewound back to having lived a wise life. You can't ask yourself, is this right or is this wrong? You need to ask yourself, is this wise? That's what my preacher said once. Not, is this right, is this wrong, but is this wise? Because there's a lot of things that are right or they're not wrong, but they're also not wise. You know what I'm saying? So something could be, yes, it's okay to do that, but it's not wise to do that. And everybody's just like, so it's 3 things. Is it wrong? Is it right? Is it wise? Anyhow, that's me. I'm sorry for going out on a tangent. I got a few people here on Instagram. Who's this guy? Oh, yeah. He doesn't have his name. JV4487.
2 questions, Mr. Brisby. Does the 67-year-old rancher go hunting? And what would be a typical meal for a super puncher?
2 really great questions, Junior, or JV. Man, I think he started this Instagram account just to ask me that. 2 followers, 0 posts, which I love. Thank you so much. Yes, the 67-year-old rancher does go hunting. He hunts the snacks and the refrigerator, and then he goes and sits back down. I don't know if you see that front butt that he's got going on, but that son of a gun needs to go for a walk. And as far as a meal for a super puncher, it's kind of the opposite. You know, like, we'll eat whatever. You know, we'll eat like some Total Feeds or some alfalfa or whatever's around, you know. I remember last Sunday I had a Snickers bar. You know, that was like the last full meal that I had, you know, when I'm super punching. So, great question. That's me. This one's an interesting question. This lady, I better not
Dale,
show where she's
my neighbors are
at.
little super punchers, but they don't take very good care of their animals.
Yep.
Am I doing the right thing by feeding this dog?
So she's literally at her neighbor's property, and this dog is like super malnourished, and she's over there feeding the dog. She takes her own dog food to feed her neighbor's dog. So I'm just gonna say her first name. It is Stacy. Yes, she is cute, but it looks like she has a boyfriend. I've already checked. Anyway, Stacy, you're doing a great job because you love animals, and we all do. Sometimes as bull riders, you know, we get labeled as somebody who, not that we don't care, but we don't care. And that's just not the case. I am very, like, I mean, look at Boone. Some gun's 20 years old. He's in the prime of his life because your boy takes care of him. I've done this before. I have fed neighbors' cows. I have fed a neighbor's horse. But we love animals, especially dogs. Man, they're They return the love. What's crazy about a dog is how unconditional their love is. So, like, this sucker's malnourished. Like, he's going to love you no matter what. Anyways, whatever. Rant over. Great job, Stacy. Got to keep feeding the neighbor's stock. Nothing wrong with that. Roan Eli. It's a young man.
And I get better at tying faster because I tie down.
How can you get better at tying faster? Because you tie down rope. Great question, Roan Eli Workman. And to answer your question, don't sell your calf rope, sell your calf horse, buy yourself a bull rope, and get you like a little sedan, little 4-door car. That way you and your bull rider buddies can go win some money riding bulls. That way you're not a loser for the rest of your life. So that's kind of where I'm at on how to get better at tying down calves. So this kid didn't send a video. He just sent, what else do we have? I thought we had Julian.
So I'm looking to get into the sport of bull riding, and I have done a few trips on the mechanical bull to get me started out.
It's a good start.
How do I ride bulls into my hand?
Oh.
I got the away from my hand direction down, but now I got to get the direction of into my hand. Thank you.
Okay, great question here. And usually it's the opposite. You get a lot of guys that are good with bulls into their hand and not so good away from their hand. So, you never know what kind of problems you're going to have. I've never had problems, period, because I'm the greatest of all time. I came out the womb spurring bulls. Like I said earlier in the podcast, invented riding bulls with one hand when I was 9 years old. Used to, guys would ride with two. So I apologize. Sorry, not sorry that now you got to ride with one hand. But, so basically the answer to your question is, let me try to imagine just for a second what it would be like to have trouble riding bulls. Might buck off, over to the left, to the right, buck off. I can't even imagine myself bucking off a bull. How do I even give this question? Like whenever they're into your hand, basically if you can put 60% of your weight on that inside, you just got to, and then 40% lift on that when they're into your hand, but then drive out over the front, pump that free arm, back door, no, front door. Here we go, boom. Listen, just don't lose that inside hold. That's what it comes down to. Lost that inside hold. All right, old son, pull your hat down. Be sure you're wearing a DB t-shirt underneath. Don't lose that inside hold. That's all I know to tell you, because I don't buck off. I don't get jerked down. One time I did jerk the bull up, knocked myself out, made it look fun, because I'm Dale Brisby, old son. Let's go to the next question. Thank you, Julian Tamayo. Okay, what else we got? Who else sent me questions? Katie Kaufman was going to, but you know what I said? Please stop texting me because I broke up with you for a reason, Sorry, I also did another deal where I had people sending me sending me DMs, and so they're all mixed in here. Let's see what Mullet Cowboy has to say.
All right, Dale, I got you one. There's this guy, he just started working with us, and he said he had a party at his house, and he got too drunk to use his phone, so he got his other buddy to call an escort service for him. Well, the escort service they called didn't have any pictures. It was just the numbers. And his buddy called the number, handed the phone back to him, and when he answered it, it wound up being his mom.
So, I guess he needed a ride. He needed somebody to escort him back home. Maybe it's like a new Uber or like a taxi deal where they like put the phone number and you call the taxi directly. Not sure what that is, and I guess maybe his mom like needed a second job and she picked up a second job like escorting people back to their house when they're too intoxicated to do so. It sounds responsible. Sounds like, man, that's awesome that he caught a ride. Like he called somebody to escort him home since he was too intoxicated. Like I personally am, never agreed with me. I don't drink, never have. And I say never agreed with me. I don't even know if it agrees with me. So I don't know. I feel like I would be responsible if I found myself to be intoxicated. Anyway, the point is, his mom was the one that came and picked him up. Sounds like a win-win, you know, like she knows where you live already, so she could take you back. But I'm not sure. That was kind of a silly question for you to ask. Mullet Cowboy 101. Do we have any more videos? Okay, we've got Leather Fist. I like that Instagram name. My man.
My problem is I'm not Bill Brisby. My problem is I'm not Bill Brisby.
Okay, this dude. All right, I'm going to Instagram text you back. I love you and your attitude. You are winning at life. His Instagram handle is leather__fist. So that's good, number one. And number two, his only problem in life is that he's not Dale Brisby. That's everyone's problem. Young son, life. And he's typing back. He doesn't even know he's on the podcast. That's so awesome. Here we go.
Hi, Dale. I really need your input on this one. It's very important. If all animals in the universe were the same size, which animal would win in a fight against every other animal? Hi, Dale. I really need your input.
That's an interesting question, Brianna. It depends on if you're calling humans animals. In that case, it's Dale Brisby. But if you're just calling animals animals, then I would go with Mexican Cowboy, a.k.a. New Mexico Bad Boy. Mexican Cowboy is what Gabriel calls him. So the Vaquero, all right? New Mexico Bad Boy. That bull can beat up anybody. It's like the Conor McGregor of bulls, and it gets annoying. Tucker Brown, R.A. Brown Ranch.
All right, DB, I got a problem. I need help fixing. I got these cows
Good
that
looking.
are digging this cottonseed as a protein supplement.
Yep, I like
But
it.
I have some new ones, or rather some old ones, that are used to eating the cubes, and they are back at the truck, not wanting to eat the cottonseed. But these girls are thankful for the cottonseed, so how do I get these ungrateful ones back here to become grateful like these right here? So I just keep branching? I don't know. I need help.
Yeah, Tucker, I've got a couple things to note on Tucker's video here. He's got on a glorious-looking Just Ranching hoodie. It's super warm, super comfy, and it lets everybody know what you're doing. What are we doing today, Dale? We're just ranching. Number two, what I would do personally, Tucker, it depends on how many cows you have, and you are on, now it's R.A. Brown Ranch, so he personally has too many cows to do this with, depending on how many of them are not being agreeable about the cottonseed. So what you could do, put it in a trough and mix them together. Or just on the ground, you put your cubes on top of the cottonseed. That way, you know, whichever ingredient, whichever one they like more, they're forced to eat both until they get used to it, and then all of a sudden they don't even know it, but they're eating the cottonseed. So if you got like 25, 30 cows, maybe you could use troughs. If you've got like 2,300 or 4,500 like the R.A. Brown probably has, I don't know, I've never asked because it's rude to ask, I'm just making guesses, then what I would do is just put the cottonseed on the ground and then put the cubes on top of them. And so I appreciate that question. I imagine you probably already knew the answer because you're a rancher, old son. You're ranching stock around the clock. We've got a video from Linnell. No, that was that other deal, people. Travis Gidley. That's a picture. I got a lot of pictures. See, I had people DM me for 2 reasons yesterday in my story, and that's where I went wrong. I should have waited. I got a video from Gregory Donahue. Have not watched this. Donahue_photography.
Has to join the Air Force Academy and then go to the Air Force. And the problem with it is, though, the Air Force Academy lasts 4 years.
It's a long time.
And you're not allowed to be married or have a girlfriend in that time. So,
that is odd.
There's an amazing girl from Georgia, but she is, I couldn't tell her because I might be friend zoned within the time I'm at the academy while she waits. And yet, at the same time, I can't just go through the academy and expect her to still be single by the time I get out. She might find somebody else in that time. So
You're
it's a
dang
big
right.
risk. I want to join, or if I want to take the risk and tell her first. I don't know. Trying my best to join the Air Force Academy and then go to the Air Force.
Okay, so the video just started over. All right, Gregory, this is, man, this is tough. He wants to go to the Air Force Academy. Sorry. He wants to go to the Air Force Academy, but you can't have a girlfriend during that time. That seems odd that they would. So first I would look more into the validity of that rule. 4 years is a long time, but if it's something you want to do, it's it could be worth it. So a couple things I would do: reach out to somebody that's been through it or that's in it and ask them, because they might be like, man, not if you're going to this one. You better just stay out there and get your girl. The other thing you need to do, and this is with no matter whether you're going to the academy or you're trying to ride bulls or just decide, maybe whatever, you're just trying to decide whether you want to date the girl, is don't ask yourself, can you live with her, but can you live without her? Then maybe just go for a test. Like spend a week away from her without talking to her, and if you can't stand it, then you need to not go to the academy. But if you just kind of like forget and it's like, Jake, I thought you'd like to know, we found Lori. And Jake says, who? If it's like that, then just go to the academy, because if you forget who she is. So that's what I would do. But you also might just have a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. Like when somebody tells you can't do something, sometimes it makes you want to do it. Well, you might not have been going to do it in the first place. So you just need to know yourself, which is sometimes hard. Every time I try to figure out myself, I realize like just how much more complicated yet sophisticated I am. I surprise myself, and I'm like, wow, Dale Brisby, just the depth of knowledge and wisdom you have is incredible. So, Gregory, I hope I helped you answer that question. We've got another question here. Looks like we've got Clay Tucker.
Okay, my question for Rodeo Time,
Let's hear it, Clay.
Dale, is I got two of them, if that's okay.
Yep, that's completely okay.
What kind of socks do you wear in the wintertime whenever it's real cold out and your old cowboy boots ain't enough to keep your feet warm? Right now, I'm going doubling up, but my boots are getting a little fat after stretching. 2, American Hat Company or Rodeo King? Okay, my question.
Okay, great 2 questions, and I've got 2 great answers. Number 1, I wear like boot socks, and ones that like they've got like the socks are like loose on the foot, and then they have like the little striped elastic stuff. I want the elastic to start below my ankle and go all the way up my calf, okay? Almost up to the middle of my thigh, all right? Some people might argue I wear pantyhose. Okay, make that argument. I don't care, but my boot is not going to rub my calf. As far as cold, I live in Texas. Doesn't look like you live in Texas, and sorry about you. I get so frustrated with people that like I talk about how when it gets cold, they're like, oh, good, oh, you're just a sissy. Come up here to northern Alberta. No, I'm not gonna come up to North Canada because it's so friggin' cold. Like, okay, fine. If you choose to live there, that's your prerogative. All right. I want to live where it's warm, so I get to complain when it gets cold. If you choose to live up there, then don't complain whenever it's 5 degrees. Wear 2 pairs of socks. Buy yourself a pair of winter boots. Like you call those your winter boots. Get an extra, because everybody goes through boots. So it's just a matter of when. Well, if you buy a second pair earlier than the first, before the first pair runs out, then it's just going to prolong when you got to buy the third pair, and it's going to come out in the wash. But the second pair needs to be a bigger pair that you're able to wear 2 socks or wool socks with. All right, problem solved. Also, American hats all the way. That's all I've ever worn since before the war. Which war? All of them. Plug over. I don't know if you were giving me a layup on a plug, but that's what you got. The Outdoor Vlog, Mike Rogers Bass. I wonder if his last name is Bass or if he just likes to bass fish.
Hello there, Mr. Dale Brisby. This is Mike Rogers with the Outdoors Vlog here. And my question is, for you, being a master electrician as I am, basically the best there ever was. Question is it possible for a master electrician, to be considered a super puncher in my trade? I'm always going 90 to the next job. And I don't cover hot bulls, but I do cover lots of hot wires, things like that.
I love the connection he made.
Anyway,
see that? Hot bulls, hot wires.
Can I be a super puncher?
Yes.
Electrician.
Yes, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike Rogers Bass. Yes, of course you can be. I love his accent, by the way. I was not poking fun. I love that accent. It's like borderline. Are you in Alabama? That's what I'm going to DM him back. Are you in Alabama? Sounds really similar to my girlfriend, kind of ex-girlfriend, Hannah Barron. She didn't know that we were dating, so she also didn't know that we broke up, but it's just, long distance. It was hard, so we just went separate directions, and we'll probably start dating again this summer before I go over there to Noodle. Anyways, they sound very similar. But yes, an electrician can be a super puncher. You can be like a super puncher electrician. Now, it is going to have an asterisk next to it whenever you put that on your resume, and then at the bottom, you explain the asterisk. Like, super puncher electrician version rather than the cowboy version, which is okay, But it makes the transition easier if you want to switch over in worlds. Like, okay, well, if he's a super puncher electrician, if he wants to now be a cowboy, he's going to probably be higher than just a hand. He might be closer to a top hand when you switch worlds, just because you know what it takes. On to the next one. Okay, Bobby Joseph, broken cow hand. I like it.
All right, Dale. I got a question and a suggestion.
Okay.
All right, when it starts getting cold outside, do you bust out your gussies?
Okay, so he's holding up some long johns, some long handles, as sometimes. I've never heard them called gussies. I'm going to guess, Bobby Joseph, are you from Missouri? That's what I'm going to. Are you from Missouri? Misery, same home of Donnie Ray Daytona. Again, love the accent, and very much. These, when I hear an accent like that, these are my people. That's what goes through my mind. Yes, I wear long handles like most months of the year. Okay, they're just you can't beat them, and there's nothing wrong with long handles. Abe Mac Band, and we're gonna see what they have to say. They sent me like a Snapchat version of a video. So, looks like I'm not going to be able to replay it.
A wise man once said, I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
Oh, son, it's rodeo time. Oh, okay, so this is a song, and he wrote it. You know what? Let's just listen to it.
Shake the blues, take your time.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yes, sir.
Shake the blues, take your time. You'll spend your money days and nights with foot ain't sticking round. Oh, son, it's rodeo time. Stop that baby.
Wow. It just ended. Sorry about my cord here, guys. It just ended and started over. Abe Mac Band. I'm going to DM him back. I love this song. Let's talk. Bingo. Let's see what Hunter Williams has to say.
So, my math teacher keeps on showing everybody's grades, and I don't think he's supposed to. What should we do? So, my math teacher keeps on showing everybody's grades, and I don't think he's supposed to.
Keep showing everyone's grades? Oh, like you can see them all? Maybe you can see them all? I don't know. Like I said, I learned what 22, 23, 22, 23, 45, 45, 92 points was, and I was on to the next one. At first, when I watched this, I thought he said combining, and that sounded like some socialistic bullcorn, like where half the class gets an A and the rest gets a D, and so they settle for a low B, and that just ain't gonna work. But if you're talking about showing the grades, I mean, like, that's what you got. So, like, if you're embarrassed, I mean, that sucks. Go to the principal. Ask the principal. All right, DB ain't the person to ask about what a teacher should and shouldn't be doing. He's probably doing his best. Most of them do. Occasionally, they're not very encouraging or motivational, and so that's unfortunate. But, yeah. But most of the time, teachers are doing their best. Zach Mello. What kind of question you got?
Hey Dale, my name is Zach Mello, and I got a problem I need your help fix. So, I got this tattoo on my arm. It's pretty simple. Just a bull, and I want to turn it into a Rodeo Time tattoo. I want you to turn this into whatever you want it to be. I need your help with it. That's my problem. If you can help me out, give me a shout. Hey Dale,
Okay, Zach. What you need is, it's a really cool bull, and you just got to drop some feathers from those horns, put that Rodeo Time on top. You can add a little color if you want, but I'm down for whatevs. So also, let's go back. The person that I asked if you're from, where you're from, and I said they're from Alabama. Guess where they're from? They're from friggin' Alabama. Bobby, I think Joseph, is from Alabama. That's what I said, wasn't it? Didn't I say Bobby, Joseph? Guys, and he said via Oklahoma, which is pretty much the same thing. So your boy DB with the accents, like I'm on to it. I should have. My cord is not, guys. I should have asked that guy that sounded. I said he's from Missouri. I thought he's from Missouri. I should have asked him where he's from. Zach Mello. I'm down for tattoos to have color. If I had one, I would put color in it. Donnie is not. He's a black and white kind of guy. Just like ink, just black ink only. And so, like, I think you just go with your gut. But I like the feathers. Put that Rodeo Time on top. Ooh, timeless. Literally and figuratively. Because Rodeo Time, it's all the time Rodeo Time. So, yeah, that's a win-win. Super hot chick. Just wanting to chat. Another super hot chick. Just wanting to chat. I've got too many problems to put them in a video. I understand that. Any more videos? Nope. That is a good... Why you tag me in this? This is beautiful, though. Dale Brisby, is you even a cowboy if you don't know who sang this song?
Saturday morning picture shows. The dusty trails are gone now, but it hurts to hear it said.
I think that's Emily Elgin. That's who that is. You have a beautiful voice. Unfortunately, I don't know that things would work out between you and I. My first girlfriend was a redhead, and scared me. There's a stereotype there, and you're probably the exception to the rule, but I don't know if I can get over that fear, Emily. So maybe you're the one that changes my mind. Just want to tell you all thank you for listening, for watching, for enjoying the podcast, and helping me solve your problems. If you have any problems, send me a video, Instagram it to me. Instagram it to Rodeo Time. That's one way to ensure that it gets seen and used in the podcast. You can also text it to me, 940-353-0890. So that's an option. What else? I just want to tell you thank you for listening, for watching, for following along with my shenanigans. We love making people laugh, and so that's what we try to do here at Rodeo Time Incorporated, is bring you value, And if we're not, that's our fault. That's not your fault. So if you stop listening, if you stop following, come back anytime. Another thing I'm going to do for you right now, code free ship, capital FREESHIP, all through December. Hit up dalebrisby.com, get free shipping with that code. Use it as many times as you want. You want a sticker? I don't care. Get a sticker. It'll cost me more than I'll make on the sticker. Buy it. I don't care. That's my gift to you. When I say I don't care, what I'm saying is like the shipping on the sticker would cost more than I make on the sticker, so I would lose money. But that's okay. That's the part I don't care about. I care about you buying a sticker. DaleBrisby.com. Hoodies, backpacks. What else do we have? We got it all. Coffee mugs. I've been drinking out of this coffee mug. There's not any coffee in it. There's nothing in it. I just like to, it's just a prop to do while I'm listening to videos. So thank you for Theo Vaughn inspiring this podcast where you help solve problems. You've solved a lot of mine, and I hope to meet up with the Rat King one day. Just not at a Denny's, bro. Okay? I hate Denny's, bro. What do they clean the tables with in there? Syrup? If you haven't seen his bit on Denny's. DaleBrisby.com, and then lastly, just one last plug. Podcast is over, but I gotta tell you guys, please check out American Hats, Rock and Roll Denim, Can-Am, and Total Feeds. All right, that is who powers Radiator Ranch. I don't normally just do a hard plug like that, but those 4 companies are pretty bad to the bone. Right up there, right underneath Rodeo Time. Okay. Check us out, DaleBrisby.com. I'm on to the next one. Follow us on Instagram. Let me know what you think. And send me a video of your problems, and we'll solve them. Old son. Okay? Pow, pow.